And the suffering comes only if we take ownership of suffering, for example. If we then have like a response to suffering, what you said, okay, now I suffer. If you think it should not be there, like you want to have it different, that's the cause of suffering. But if you just like know, well, whatever, if there's the greatest suffering, whatever suffering there is, it can't affect consciousness. And the thing which stays is not the suffering, but consciousness. Suffering is just a fleeting phenomena. Whatever you experience right now is just a fleeting phenomena. A fleeting experience. And it's nature. And there's nothing wrong with nature. If we see it as it is, if we accept its nature, then there's no problem. But if we start to take ownership of nature and think it's me, mine, myself, that's where the suffering starts. And the suffering is created in the present, not in the past, not in the future. And the Buddha said, what we should let go is the craving, not the suffering. Suffering should be known and realized it's a fact of life. There's nothing wrong with it, but the craving that causes like the response towards that fact, that truth, nature, that which causes the suffering, because with the craving comes the self. It comes in a package. And that's like that ignorance and wrong understanding, which we have to see and realize, to understand. And to put down the self in each and every moment, that's like the path to stop suffering. The self which wants to change things, which wants things to have in a certain way, which takes ownership, which attaches. Like that inner voice, which is complaining and blaming But if we not like listen, not pick it up, not get deluded by it. It's like a call center, like someone calls you on your phone and tries to sell you something, sell you a story and entangle you in a fantasy. So if you not buy into it, if you know it, it's just a voice, you don't even know where it comes from. Just like happens. You not ask for it to happen. You not ask for the suffering to arise. So if you see through that scam each and every moment, that's the way how to not suffer. And then you just need like a little bit persistence and endurance, because it's like a habit pattern, like a call center. They not give up easily. They call again and they try to entangle you with all kinds of stories and techniques and whatever. But if you stay mindful and with wisdom, and you know what is what, they can't scam you. And you not suffer later. Or you not suffer, not later, you not suffer. You have any questions, or does it make any sense?
Well, the words you say make sense. I think I don't think I realized how closed that you say I am. Maybe I thought maybe I was more open than and maybe I don't see it in myself. So I don't know how to see it more. I think I am naturally introverted. I don't think this came from monastic life. I think this is my nature. It's always been like this. And I don't think I know a different way. I don't know how to get out. I feel just like a wall that I don't know how to. Like everything you say makes perfect sense.
Again, like the things I'm saying or pointing out, this is also something I often misunderstood. Like when teachers point something out, our natural reaction is we have to get rid of it or change it or do something about it. But this is a misunderstanding. The thing is actually we just need to become aware of it so that we not identify or take ownership of it. That's the thing. So whatever I said, it's not there like for you to again change the weather. That would be again another cause of suffering. Like to change you, it's from introverted to extroverted. That's not the purpose of what I'm saying or Longta was pointing out, or the Buddha points out. It's just like making you aware how things are, and not like get deluded by it, and not like identify by it or take ownership of it, and get lost in it. So the problem is not being introverted, but the problem is only like you get lost in it. Like there's no problem if a call center calls you, but the problem starts if you buy into their story. And you get deluded whatever fantasy they try to sell you, that your friend is stranded someone and he needs some money, and they totally create a story out of thin air. Or they say they are from a government and you this and that and whatever, a total creation. So, and to see through that trick or that scam or that illusion, that's the whole point. So just like to notice it, you not have to change it. But like you said, you're not aware of it, so this is just like to become aware, that's it. And you not have to do anything further. That's the beauty of it. You not have to change anything. With the awareness and not identifying, not taking it up, not attaching, not making it your business, done. Like someone came to the Buddha and asked, there are so many teachings and it can easily become very confusing. And can you maybe summarize it or like shorten it down like in a short sentence so that I can remember it and practice according to it, like to make it like easier for me because it's so overwhelming. And then the Buddha said, sure, I can, yes. And he just said, don't attach to anything. Or don't take ownership of anything. So if you just like stop making it your business, like you see, like you can maybe notice your eyes like go down. This is like when you are with the inner voice. Yeah, this is like for example, like a bodily sign where, for example, someone else can see whether, like when you make eye contact And to see the difference between when your eyes go down, like the difference, and what is more pleasant for you, and what is a little bit like there are some nice pictures, and I don't know, I think there's only like the Thai, but there's like a normal person. You see that happy face with open eyes, and this is like a natural person, like natural. And then you see like these other faces, like where like someone is sad and wandering, and sometimes and the third, like the blue face, like he's like absorbed and soaking in certain states and thoughts, and then the last one, or the further below, well, he's like actively very thinking and pondering and stressed out a bit, and worrying and daydreaming, and so, and to it sometimes helps when it's difficult for you, when you easily get lost in the present moment. It's easier to notice the body or changes in the body than in the mind, because the mind is something very more subtle than the gross body. So if you, for example, with the eyes is like they say the doors to the mind, an easy way to kind of get feedback, what's happening in the mind. And you can and out of habit, like everyone, we have like a habit like to stay with the inner voice, the inner commentator, and we think the wisdom lies there, like with that inner voice. We just wait for the inner voice, like to tell us how things are and whatsoever, because we are conditioned to train that inner voice and to stay with it, and that is like our intellect, where the smartness comes from, and everything, and the tool which we use constantly. But in what the Buddha tried to point out, like to see the nature of it, not like get lost in its stories, but to see that it's not me, myself. It's just like something happening within consciousness, which is out of control, out of will, not under your willpower. And again, like it's just like to make you aware, not need to change it, because it's just nature. There's no need to change anything. It's just like to wake up. Means like to understand things in the way they really are. And the problem starts just if you take ownership of this body and mind, and think you have to change it and do something about it. But that's the suffering. That's the track of, or the path to suffering, not the path to the end of suffering. And the path to the end of suffering is being aware and not forgetting reality, and not forgetting the instructions of the Buddha, not to attach, not to take ownership, not to get deluded by this self-idea and I need to do something and become something and get something, like not get deluded by these kind of schemes. And what Longta said at the beginning to you, Amy said, just like stop whatever you're doing. And the meaning is, just let everything happen, but you not need to take it important or make it your business. So you not need to understand anything. Because that would be, again, doing and not stopping. So you can just be present, no need to go inwards.
What if that's the present, to go inwards? What if that's it?
Then exactly. If that's the case, then just accept it. Yeah.
Because it feels like basically you're saying everything I'm doing is wrong, and then you say, you're doing everything wrong, but just you can't do anything about it. So that doesn't make sense to me. Actually, that's quite strange to me.
Yes, of course, I can 100% see what happens in your mind. Of course, I can only look from outside, and we see those faces, and if it's kind of it's normal to understand like I said before, when we listen to something, to teachers or something, we take it personal, and we think, I do everything wrong, but there is no I who does anything wrong. Again, it's just being aware of what is. So whatever the teacher says he's trying just to increase awareness, and not to get absorbed and lost in it. So it's not, please don't misunderstand it, not trying to, you're wrong, and kind of pressing in the wounds, and kind of you're so bad, and this and that. Would I do that? It's just trying to increase awareness that you can step out of it.
But then stepping out of it, that's changing.
It should happen by itself. If you do it, that again is the self. It's something, the real thing happens by itself. And sometimes certain words happen, like for example, the lady before, she didn't purposely did it, whatever she experienced. It's just it happened. Just something clicked. It's not she did it intentionally or rationally. And whatever happened, she only witnessed it after it happened already.
I don't care. I don't take this personally, or maybe I do. I don't know. But it does seem. I don't know, it just seems strange. I feel like what's happening is the opposite of what you're preaching. Instead of just accepting me as I am, then it will happen naturally. But it feels like you are not accepting whatever I am. I mean, I don't care. This is my observation.
Yes,
this is what I feel.
That's very good, some response.
So then, of course I'm going to have a reaction to that, because you're saying, oh, you got a wall. Oh, so I've got a wall. You saying I it seems the opposite, exactly the opposite of what you're preaching. Understand what I mean?
Yeah, and I totally understand. Yeah. It's like I'm talking about the weather. This is how the weather is right now. I'm not meaning it should not be like this. It's just it is the way it is. So, and of course, my observation could be wrong, and I misunderstand rain for sunshine, of course, or certain weather phenomena, certain rays in the sky I can't explain, or this or that, but this is just like an explanation how things work, and in the hope that something maybe clicks with you, and if it doesn't, well, I can't change it. And if you say like whatever I say doesn't match up with what you perceive, then it's okay. It's like that, and that's just a phenomena, like a thought, an observation. That's fine. That observation arises in the mind, and it is as it is. And if we not take ownership of it, then all is fine. Then there's no problem. If it's seen the way as it is, that it's just like, okay, this observation, I don't agree, arises and passes, and you not take ownership of that. I don't agree. I think what you say is the opposite. So if you see that inner voice, I don't think what you say is according to my description, and you not take ownership of it, then everything, mission completed. Then there's no problem. The problem only starts then when we take ownership of that inner voice, and then we are like in this, this is how the self, that's like the self is then created. So seeing that inner voice and not getting lost in it. Because maybe you can observe all the problems start with that inner voice. I don't agree with that, like the inner voice says, or I don't see it like this, or I don't need, and so on and so on. But maybe let someone else, maybe some more luck.
I would just say I was surprised, actually, to be honest, by the response. And maybe like, maybe it's my delusion, I don't know, but I mean, sure, I have a sense of self, I do, like, I'm not going to deny that. And yeah, of course, I still have desires and want things to be different, but okay, never mind.
Yeah, maybe. เขาก็บอกว่าอันหนึ่งที่ก่อนนั้นเขาบอกว่าสิ่งที่อาจารย์เคยบอกว่าสอนเขาก็มันขัดแย้งในใจเพราะว่าเขาก็เห็นคนละแบบอันนี้เป็นอันหนึ่งอันที่สองเขาก็บอกว่าบางทีเขาก็มีตัวตนอันหนึ่งก็ใช่เขาก็อยากความจริงเป็นอย่างนี้ไม่ได้เป็นอย่างนั้นก็อันนี้ก็มีก็เป็นจริงเขาก็ได้แปลกใจเหมือนกันปฏิกิริยาในใจทำไมเป็นอย่างนี้ทำไมเป็นอย่างนั้นอันนี้ก็เขาก็บอก อาจารย์ก็บอกว่าบางทีก็ให้ถ้าสมมติว่ามันไม่ตรงกันสิ่งที่อาจารย์บอกกับสิ่งที่เขาก็เห็นบางทีก็ให้คนอื่นก็พูดแทนหรือช่วยหรืออะไร